good.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. And they are not what they claim to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.
Hello, welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We don't take days off because reptilians don't take days off. Ollie,
my love,
we were supposed to have a guest tonight, weren't we? We said last night on the show
we
would have a guest.
Unfortunately, the guest died.
I don't think we're friends enough with Rekka to be saying things like that.
No, he couldn't make the show. Sorry, Rekka. Love you. You've not...
Yeah, it's. I mean, he's definitely one of the guests that we're probably more friendly with. But like, you know,
and we need to stay on the right side of. He's a big man.
He's fucking huge, Ollie. Huge. Like, yeah, he's a fucking absolute fucking barn of a guy, isn't he?
He actually has a barn, I think, as well.
Yeah, he carried it home.
Yeah, fair. He takes his barn to work.
Yeah, so unfortunately he can't make it.
His barn broke down.
His barn broke down. Yeah. He did messages, said, "I'm sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to rain check." So it is what it is.
I was looking forward to speaking about some fucking face peelers, Lee.
I know. I was looking forward to talk about some face peelers as well. Maybe some fucking biblical answers to aliens, that type of shit. But here we are. Not today. We're gonna do fucking Agenda 21 today for those that I mean, realistically, you'll have read the title. Technically, although I've got a loose idea of what we're going to do in the show today, I don't even know right now. You listening know more than I do now because you read the title.
This is true, and I'm literally along for the ride. I heard that news article today.
I feel you can use that answer for a lot of your life, Ollie.
Yes. I'm not gonna disagree with that. It's fair. It's absolutely more than fair, that. I kind of wing my way through life, you know. Just
sometimes you just got to stick the seatbelt on and see where it stops.
No, I don't wear a seatbelt.
Oh, okay.
What's the point, you know?
I heard
I do wear a seatbelt every time.
I heard a quote today, and I loved it. And I thought, apart from the fact that the quote I heard didn't start with a gay bar or hit gay bar in the title, I thought, what a fucking fine description of Oliver that is. So with the inclusion of the word gay bar, the phrase would be is That's the type of man that walks into a gay bar cock first. And I just, as soon as it popped in my head, I couldn't stop thinking of you.
I used to like that song, you know. I've got something to put in you. I've got something to put in you.
What's with all the singing this week?
I don't know. It's just it's excitement, you know. It's that time of the month.
Well, if you sing anymore, you will bleed.
At the gay bar. No, I'll stop now.
Oh, God, I hope something horrible happens.
I can't remember who sung that now. What a banger.
Do you know what, right? I'm sure there's several people I could replace you with. And do you know what the wild thing is? I can't even think of anyone right now. Mm-hmm. But I just know, I could do it. If just something would happen, just breaks, a slip.
Yeah.
Feral cat.
There may be a feral cat in the room at some point in the next month, I'll be honest with you.
He was quite funny yesterday. Just... At least he didn't crawl over your keyboard. Mine has a tendency to try and fucking...
He normally,
this
like...
looks fucking comfy.
Yeah, it's usually when I'm playing a game, he'll just come onto the keyboard and then he'll put his little sphincter right in my face.
Yeah, well, you started that. There would have been a time where it ran away from you, but, you know, after a while, it was like, I don't hate this.
Why do you think I've got...
horrible breath.
I don't know where the gun's gone. I've got the Nerf gun bullets.
It just looks like a single battery vibrator to me, that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I thought it was a bit heavy.
Yeah, so, right, before we get into the Agenda 2021 stuff, Agenda 21, fucking Agenda 2030.
Agenda 30 now, yeah.
Fucking the Great Reset, New World Order, whatever you want to call it. What do you have to show me, Ollie?
Well, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but the Lion King has put out another message. Liver King, sorry. He looks like a lion, a deformed lion.
He looks like a hyena, maybe, all just shriveled and a bit like flea bitten and distempered.
Have you seen this one?
No, I haven't. But I immediately want to.
Right, okay. Let me make sure it's not too
He's got gold guns.
He's got gold guns.
Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name's Liver King. Man to man. I'm picking a fight with you. Yeah. I have zero training in jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt. You should dismantle me. But I'm picking a fight with you. Your rules. Whatever you want me to weigh, I'll weigh it. I weighed 190 this morning. I'll come to you whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready to go. I'm on a vibration plate, by the way. That's what I'm saying. Hold on.
What is wrong with that man? What is
was that it? Is that finished?
It's not finished, no. I don't know. I haven't.
Where the fuck have you pressed stop?
Oh, do you want more of it? Okay, let's.
Yes.
Okay.
You can't pick a fight with a real king and then expect there not to be an actual fight, bro. The Lion King, yeah. You can call me all those names, but the minute my family is received an expected aversion less than what they earn because of the fucking untold truth.
He's got kids, man. Like, his sons are sat there going, yeah, this is normal. Can't see anything wrong with this.
No problems.
Joe Rogan, you're not a liar. You're actually good at fucking truth. A wolf, you're not really. And King, not yet, about to be.
Check that out. Like, the Liver King is so fucking fierce, even bitrate
I bet you $1
can't
million.
handle it.
Whoever fucking wins the fight between you and me, whoever wins donates.
That is actually it. There you go. It's been cut
Do you
off.
know a wild thing? Like,
His belly button.
Everything about him. But he's worth 12 million. And the wild thing is, I'm surprised he's only worth 12 million.
What's he done?
He's so well. Have you never come across Liver King on TikTok?
I take it he knows how to cook liver well or something.
No. So he's been this like ancestral tenant guy, where like he was fucking super jacked and huge, and he said it was all natural. It was because he eats raw liver and fucking raw bone marrow, and then it went into this like wild thing where he'd show these like real intense fucking ridiculous workouts, and
oh yeah, absolutely. It looks like he's on no gear whatsoever. I don't know. I didn't see his leg trembling like a motherfucker.
Well, no, but this was the thing. He for years, for a good 2 years, he was adamant he was clean, and like he was selling he sold like protein powder, like protein bars and like all that sort of stuff.
Right.
And then somebody leaked. I wonder if I can find it. Can I find it? You can talk to the rest of the children.
There is like he definitely looks like he's been on something. I mean, forget the size. His legs were fucking trembling. His legs were fucking trembling. I mean, unless those fucking gold guns had lead in them.
To be perfectly honest, if I was fucking Liver King and I challenged Joe Rogan to a fight, I would fucking like I'd be fucking terrified in case he said yes. So, New York Post. Here we go. There we go. Oh no! Don't add the New York Post to fucking my browser. I just want to get rid of the fucking. Everything has a fucking pop up now.
You can't escape it, mate.
You can't escape it.
It's all leading up to that agenda 2030.
I don't even like genuinely. I don't even agree with fucking ad blockers. I've just. I've saved it at some point and it's still fucking on. Right, here we go. So, I can't believe we've actually started the podcast about a fucking Liver King conspiracy instead. That's not what I expected.
Well, we're going to get into something pretty dark, so.
That's fair. That is fair. So there was an email leaked that read. Where are we? I've been working out for 35 years, blah, 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 blah. Then it said he's got a list of stuff here. Been taking this for a year. CJ1, IMAP, been taking this stuff I can't pronounce. Decker, I know what Decker is. That's about it. The only thing I can understand that's there. But basically, from the guy that turned around and said, I don't take steroids, somebody totted up this email that was leaked, which was him essentially ordering with his doctor what he wanted. Right. He spent 11 grand a month on steroids. 11 grand a month he was spending on steroids.
That's like a fucking army's worth of steroids.
Well, it wrecked his whole brand because like his whole brand was everyone knew he was on gear. Don't get me wrong. You just look at him, go, you're okay. You fucking bleed. It's gonna go through the floor, mate, like a xenomorph. But like the there's always that thing, isn't there? You know, like Hulk Hogan back in the day when he used to say he was clean and stuff like that. But when your brand is, I'm huge because I fucking work out like a motherfucker. I take like the good healthy alternatives, like good fucking protein and good whatever the fucking other shit he was. I'm sure there's some vitamins and stuff like that and fat burners in there somewhere. And that's what he built himself around, and like his fucking popularity went like off the fucking floor. I was all for him. I was like, fucking whatever. You want to look fucking ridiculous and massive, you fucking do it. You entertain me, and that's all that really matters. But like obviously it didn't work, and I think he went a bit crazy. So he came off all the gear and he lost a load of weight. Like he didn't look bad; he still looked jacked, but like he lost a load of weight and a load of size. And I think he then decided to get back on the juice, and I don't know whether he's overdone it. You know, like trying to get himself back quicker or whatever he's done. But that guy has fucking barbecued himself.
Well, what the fuck was that blue thing in his mouth?
It was probably just a sweetie.
Maybe, yeah.
But,
I mean, the guy's got. I've never seen a belly button like that. I'll be honest, never.
Well, they reckon that's like enhanced. Not enhanced. It's obviously enhanced.
Enhanced belly button.
No, his 6-pack is supposedly implants.
Right. That would explain the fucked up belly button. They went in through the belly button.
Maybe. I don't know how you give yourself a 6-pack. Like, I'd have to draw
I
one
do.
on
Get
with
myself
crayon.
into supermarket. Sorry. I apologise.
How dare you?
I thought it was good. Should we restart the show?
Yeah, no. So it's fucking crazy. Like something bad's gonna happen to Liver King though. Like all this hilarity is all well and good, but like it's that guy's desperate for
a heart
attack. For acknowledgement. Well, maybe, but that guy's desperate for acknowledgement. I don't think he'll get a heart attack. I think you're gonna I'm confused, right? It's his wife that confuses me. That's your husband, the father of your children, who is in the living room. Who is in the living room with a fucking wolf. So sorry for the people that didn't see this, like that listen to the show. When that video we just played, the Liver King, he was holding 2 gold assault rifles, and he had a wolf skin on his head, like obviously with the little wolf head is like over his head. And like, at what point, if you're Liver King's wife, are you looking at this person that obviously he used to be a dentist at some point, like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. The Liver King was a dentist. Yeah,
that man took people's teeth out for a living.
Apparently so. But the thing is, like, you're sat there, and I mean, even people we like even our partners that we get on with well, sometimes you look across the room and you go, you're not what you were a few years ago. But like when this is just a pretty fucking crazy situation to when she looks at the Liver King and goes, you're not who I married. I married
a fucking dentist.
I married a dentist. Like my life plans were to change that Lexus into a Mercedes. That was where my life plans were going. I didn't expect to be sleeping on fucking wooden floorboards talking about ancestral tenants. So yeah, I can't understand that when you would be in a living room with Mr. King and thinking, oh yeah, this is a perfectly safe place for me and the rest of my family, and I'm sure what happened with Chris Benoit was just a mistake.
Has Joe actually said anything yet? Has he said any sort of comeback to this?
Would you?
Yeah, I'd say something about his belly button.
I'm sure it'll be in his next special.
Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you do say. What So what have you got? You've got a bodybuilder, a TikTok bodybuilder that takes like fucking more chemicals than a Wuhan laboratory. That's fucking like wearing a fucking wolf hat that's saying he's coming to kill you. You're like almost equally as jacked, trained fucking assassin that's arguably the most successful man in the world right now. You know, it's if you take things of like, if you level things out so we don't like equate success just to financially.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at what Joe Rogan was, i.e. the like half Italian guy doing like dick jokes on Fear Factor,
mm-hmm.
to now being like one of the most famous people in the world, arguably the most powerful person in show business, on the largest media platform in the world. That's quite the rise. Liver King hasn't had such rise.
No, but this is probably why he's doing this with Joe Rogan. He's like, how do I get some more attention?
Of course he is. Because do you know why? Because through all the bullshit, Joe Rogan is what he wants to be.
Oh, yeah.
He's a genuine... Joe Rogan is a genuine masculine role model. He's a legitimate badass. He takes like testosterone. Like now he's, because he's nearly 60, he's like 58, something like that. But he's quite open about it. He doesn't hide it. Like there's almost every single aspect of Liver King is just, apart from the fucking crazy, I'm going to sleep on floorboards and stuff like that. Almost every aspect of him is just like a shit version of Joe Rogan. Better hair.
Well, Joe's got no hair.
Suits it though, doesn't he? I can't imagine like a.
No, I don't think he'd suit.
You see young Rogan with hair, and that's fine because he looks a little bit like who was the guy from Friends that played Joey? Matt LeBlanc.
Joe with hair looked a bit LeBlanc-y, didn't he?
Yeah. But now
they could have cast Joe as Joey's brother.
Maybe yes. Maybe if we got Matt LeBlanc on the gear and did some AI stuff from when he was younger and things, we could get him to play Rogan in a biopic.
Maybe.
But yeah, craziness. Just craziness. Fucking, we live in the strangest timeline.
I'm into it. In the fucking craziness of this world that's happening right now, and the depressing shit that's going on. A little bit of Liver King and Joe Rogan squabbling.
That's lubed us up, hasn't it?
It is. So, I feel well and truly moist.
Right. Well, we've got. I'm going to play a short video now.
That's it. It's time to get depressed, people.
And this is, we'll see. I don't know. Fight the power and whatnot. Let's watch this little video, which is kind of a little roundup about. I don't know.
That actually looks more real than the pictures that NASA presents.
It does look more
of the
real,
Earth.
Yeah. We're gonna watch a little video about the global technocratic takeover.
This is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world. It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that, sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all. Because when systems don't meet, when they're out of balance or not in sync with one another, they can't be controlled centrally. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government and total control from a central unit. Every nation that signed on to Agenda 21 has its local Agenda 21 plan. And people in the United States are completely unaware of this. If I go out and talk about this, the United States press attacks me and calls me, which is totally ridiculous. It is but it's not a theory. It's a fact. The three pillars of United Nations Agenda 21 are economy, ecology, and equity, the 3 E's. And everyone sort of thinks that they know what that means, the idea of social equity. It must mean that, everyone's going to have access to clean water and clean air, and no one's property is going to be used as a dumping ground because they are at a poverty level. But really what social equity is about impoverishing huge portions of the population and bringing down the developed nations. Everything that we're looking at now is destined to collapse our economies. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world. And what major corporations want in this development is to be able to have full movement of workers without borders or boundaries, to be able to move their goods through without regulations, and to reduce wages. And so this is the goal. So this is what you find with social equity. And of course, economy and ecology is about, these are the 3 circles: economy, ecology, and social equity. And where they meet in the center is balance. But really that balance is a communitarian balance. So it's not balance of well-being of the people. What it is it's a balance for corporations so that they can exploit and control and have populations in an area, in tightly packed, dense areas, so that they can be surveilled and managed. And this is what that balance looks like as far as the development of a totalitarian state is. The mainstream media is owned by 5 major corporations, and you're not going to get this information from the mainstream press. So you need to be your own press. You need to educate yourself. You need to get out there and educate your neighbors, your community, your real community. You need to help your children understand that they're being indoctrinated from pre-kindergarten to postgraduate school. All of us have a responsibility to ourselves and to others. This is true community, to work for personal freedom. And always remember that even though we work as a group, if we do work as a group, we're all individuals in those groups. And we answer only to ourselves. And this is essential. It's essential as free human beings. This is what we are. We are free, and we need to continue to be free. And I do believe that we will win, but we have to become aware that there is a fight, and then make our friends and our neighbors and our community aware as well, and work together.
I love how she blocked out the word conspiracy. Quite. We must be fucked.
I thought that must be a YouTube thing. That must that was put up by Oracle Films. That'll know the ins and outs of what the YouTube guidelines are, and that's conspiracy and conspiracy theory must be one of the like the trigger words for it, was pretty fucking crazy. I thought it was a good roundup of the like Agenda 2030, Agenda 21, Great Reset, whatever, New World Order. I happen to think that maybe there might be a slightly darker, mission behind it, rather than just financial, which is kind of what she seemed to think it was. That it was more of a financial issue, and I 100% think that's part of the immigration and migrant crisis that's going on. Is if you flood a marketplace with workers, it drives wages down. You know, like I'm so tired of people saying, like, people that are like pro immigration and pro forced immigration, I should say. Them say, oh, yeah, it doesn't affect your wages, and you go, motherfucker, look at how your wages went up. Like, look at where wages were and where they are, and what, like, so the difference in time between when you thought you were paid well,
yeah,
and how wages rose to that point, like, and how regular pay rises and stuff like that were, from that point where you remember earning well, as in like you could live to a better standard than you can live now with less. Now look how wages have stagnated till then.
Oh mate, I live in my fucking overdraft. I'm a 44-year-old man living in my overdraft month
you should really
to
live
month.
in your house.
Yeah, but like it's insane.
Yeah,
it like for anybody who thinks what's going on with immigration in your country, whatever country you're in, you're stupid. You are stupid.
Well, the problem is, or what I think the problem is for people, because I knew this was going to happen like for a while, because it only really hit construction first. Like that was the first point, because you'd notice it in, I mean, not even what you should say is not even necessarily construction where I'm from, although it's more prevalent now. But like when I used to go to England, and it was the first time I noticed like the groups of like non-natives like standing on street corners at 6-7 o'clock in the morning. You know, like if I'm in England, I'm like on holiday or I'm doing something, so you always tend to get up quite early, or I do if I'm in a hotel, because I'll go and find breakfast somewhere and stuff like that. So you're up and about when like the early morning workers are up and about, and that was the first time I saw like groups of, like, as I say, like natives, non-country residents, standing around in groups, or like on the roadside, and then like a white van would pick like 6 of them up, and obviously to go off, like, you know, it was a construction van, be a builder or something like that, you know, I need 3 lads, get in the back of the van with the rest of the tools, and off they go to do a fucking day's work for probably a third of what the going rate was for workers, and all cash in hand, no fucking overheads as far as insurance and things like that go, because you can guarantee if something happened to one of those lads, he wasn't there anymore, because he couldn't be there because he probably didn't have a work permit.
Yeah.
So if someone falls over, breaks an ankle, breaks a leg, that motherfucker limps away. He doesn't.
Yeah, maybe with a few extra pounds.
Probably not. Probably not. Because I tell you what, if someone turned around and did that, so someone might get fined. You've always got that thing of like, because there is a grace period if you take people on, you know, where because you've got to give them time to give you to give you their paperwork and stuff like that. You can always turn around and say, no, I thought fucking nobody was going to give me his paperwork. Said he'd been living here for fucking 6 years. It's them which are in trouble because they're in the country illegally. But yeah, the reason I was bringing that up is because it spills upwards, and I don't think it's because people say like it's the middle class is getting sort of squished out. And I think it is because it was a case of where I think the financial problems that were being created were only affecting people that were maybe like wages are different for those in the US, like you guys in general get paid. I think get paid more than people get paid in the UK. So like a 60 to 80 grand job in the UK is probably equivalent to like 100 to 120k in the US, I would think, somewhere around that sort of area. That's the difference we're talking. So like the people I think were squeezed first were the like people living on their own, like lad in a construction job that was just going out, stuff like that. Maybe he's earning 20k a year, something like that. Those people got squeezed first. Now you're 30 to 35, 40kers are getting squeezed. Then your 60k plus people start to get squeezed. And this is when people start to notice it, because until then it can be classist. And I think there's a lot of classism. I can only look at this from a UK point of view. There's a lot of classism in the UK. That's one of the reasons you see the demonization of...
I think there probably is in the States as well, I would say.
I don't think it's the same as the UK.
You don't?
No, not. There's a class there. There is a class system that exists in the UK. That's quite. I've only realised this over the last couple of years that it just doesn't exist. Because obviously, like you get there's your trash people. You know, don't get me wrong. There's trash people in the UK.
Some trash people are just the best.
There's trash people in America. Yeah, there is people that are just fucking there. But I think we have a pretty fucking gross way of looking at working class people in the UK in general. Like especially if you take one of those working class people.
I'm working class.
And put them. Well, yeah, but this is the funny thing. You're not. You're middle class.
Really?
Yes, of course you are.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay.
But that's not as much. It's not as much fun as it used to be, because this is the wild thing. People think now middle class. Oh yeah, middle class is like, it's maybe you're in 67, maybe there's 160 grand or something coming in the house a year. That's
that'd be nice.
Sort of thing. No, but the thing is, middle class never used to work.
Did they not?
No, the middle class. That's why it was called the middle class, because you had the upper class, you had the middle class, and then you had the working class, the workers.
Right, okay. Is this why you call them middle class? Because you say I don't know work.
No, just because they were somewhere between. They had enough money and resources not to really do the work, but they were. But now it's kind of. The middle class is a working class.
Yeah.
They just work for slightly more money. And
the working class just don't work.
Yeah, but well, I mean, no. That there is a prime example of the classism I was just talking about. We've been conditioned to do that, and I think the reason is that the powers that be that we're going to talk about this evening, as far as the Great Reset and Agenda 2030 new, in Great Britain, like this again, but I'll be quite heavy on the Britain thing here, because it's the social structure I understand and know.
I suppose that's what we can kind of like.
It's the change I've lived. Yeah, it's my lived experience. I think they knew that the lower working class, like your builders, your fucking, your tradies, your people, shop workers, like leisure industry people, those people like that, they go to work, they get treated like shit, and they go home to their families. But the other thing they do is they live in neighborhoods. They go to the pub and speak to each other. Yeah. Nobody's trying to fucking outdo each other to get like the next promotion in the office, because they don't fucking work in an office. Because do you know what? The trades are the great equalizer. You get paid for what you're worth.
Yeah, I know people like this. They go to fucking work, and then Friday night, boom, in the pub. Saturday night in the pub. Maybe even Sunday.
Yeah, but
they know everybody on the street.
But this is where the British class system, I think, has been the British class system was implemented, is because they knew the people that they would funnel off into the financial sector. It was easy to split those people up because they're in office environments are fucking horrible. Like I've never met anybody that comes from an office environment that, especially a large office like a big company, that isn't essentially just trying to fuck over the person that's next to them so they get the pay rise or they don't get laid off when the next round of fucking layoffs comes. Whereas your working class, which has been demonized, you don't get that fragmentation.
No.
So how do you fix that? If you've got one area of society that is far, look at the stabbing. Like, look at the stabbing. Look how those people were portrayed. Kids got killed. People were fucking angry and they fucked shit up.
Yeah. And rightly so.
And they were the ones that had the fucking finger pointed at them. Not the fucking fact that somebody's just gone in there and done one of the most horrific things you can possibly fucking think of.
They were mad at the fucking government for lying.
Yeah, yeah. But this is why we've come up with the whole chav thing. Like, for those that don't know, like, chavs are like the council estate type people in the UK. And I think it's a plan. I think it was a plan to demonize the working class. It's worked because I think they know if a grassroots movement is gonna come, that's gonna go against like the Great Reset, Agenda 2030, whatever we're gonna call it today. It's gonna be in the face of like a Tommy Robinson. It's gonna be from that part of society.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, what's going on right now? It feels like, I mean, you're seeing it in Ireland now. You're seeing an uprising in Ireland because they've just fucking had enough. You've thrown too much at us. We can't cope. You're changing the way we live, and when you do that, they didn't want to get fragmented. They didn't want to be separated, so they fought back. And this, I was saying to Crazy Stu today, this is what's going to happen in the UK. I can see it getting to a point that's going to be a breaking point. And then Crazy Stu said, the thing is about people in the UK is we're patient waiters. We'll just wait and wait.
He's right, but there's another side of that. Because right now, we've got such massive, we've got a massive inequality in the UK right now.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean that between the rich and the poor in the UK. I mean, there is a massive inequality as far as people coming here with no right to come here. And
it's scary.
Well, yeah, it is scary, but that's, hang on. And those people get put in hotels, or this is the thing, like Labour want to build 150,000 council houses. They're not for British people. They've already said they are going to prioritise migrants. But the thing is, if there's one thing, you're right, we're patient waiters, we're good queuers. You know, there's a reason that fucking that trope is there of like British queue for everything, and we're good queuers. We're patient people.
We wait our turn.
But that also means we don't like people that skip line.
We don't like people who skip the
if somebody tries to skip a queue and just push in the UK, someone says something.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be the difference. That's going to be the turning point, is when people are trying to get doctor's appointments and can't do it, but somebody comes here for 5 minutes and they can. When somebody's trying to get a council house and they can't get one, but somebody comes off a small boat and they can. When somebody hasn't got fucking money to heat their homes come the winter, and then there's another round of payouts to people that have only just arrived here, that's when people are going to go, I don't like it when people skip turns.
Mm-hmm. So, and it's not agenda 21 anymore. It's they've obviously that didn't work, so it's now agenda 30. 2030.
I mean, I don't. It depends which way you look at it. Like, did Agenda 21 not work, or was Agenda 21 the framework for Agenda 2030?
That's fair. It could be the framework for it.
Mm-hmm.
But you've always said you don't think the lockdown system, we should be still locked down. That should have worked, and it didn't work. So
yeah, I think so. I also don't think enough people got vaccinated.
Yeah.
I think that was the vaccine thing. I don't think was supposed to go away. I think that was supposed to be a permanent moneymaker.
But with this thing, because it leads very much into what we've been discussing this week, and if you're listening to the omnibus now, you would have heard that a few hours ago when we spoke about the AI and AI 2027 leading into 2030. This all seems fucking linked.
I think it is linked. We can get some stuff on that there in a minute. I'd like to play this clip from Joe Rogan. It's an old clip, but it's one of those ones that it fucking goes hard. And
he's got a full head of hair.
It's not Joe Rogan. He looks a bit like Brad Pitt there too, doesn't he? Kind of.
Oh, yeah,
a little bit.
Who is it? Who's the guest?
The guest is somebody that isn't Joe Rogan.
Right.
And he tells Joe Rogan doesn't know this, and he fills him in with something, and we're going to listen to it.
Paul Harvey, you know who that is?
Sure.
So he did a thing, God, back in the 60s or 70s, and he equated it to the devil. And maybe it is, or you could also say it's just that. But he did a radio piece on how to destroy America, the social fabric of it.
Wow.
And it's as though somebody just took America, the social fabric of America from the late 60s to today, and the timeline of the things that he said. It's pretty wicked. It's pretty powerful.
Wow. I'm not shocked.
Let me find a better version.
Paul Harvey.
If I were the devil.
Is this the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I were the devil. If I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills.
Wow.
If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Wow. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door.
Holy shit.
Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling. as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
What year was that?
It was 65, but...
Oh.
1965. Wow.
Yeah. That motherfucker thought about things.
He also sounded a bit like Rob Schneider. Is it Rob Schneider, the alien guy with one hand?
Yeah. But I apologize, people, if that was a little bit low.
Phil
Yeah.
Schneider.
Yeah, Rob Schneider was the comedic comic actor, isn't he? Whenever I hear that, I think, oh, fuck, that could be yesterday. Someone could say that yesterday about right now. And that's what I was saying about that, the original video we listened to. When it comes to Agenda 2030 and it comes to like the Great Reset, I'm far more in agreement that this is something spiritual than just financial.
Yeah, I think the control mechanisms, what they want to do with humanity, I can't see any reason why it just makes them wealthy, having that sort of control. It has to be something else. Yeah, you've got so much fucking power. Why do you need us all into one place? Why do you need us all separated?
Why do you only want to subvert Christianity? No other religion is getting the battering Christianity has. I don't know why.
You do know why?
No, I don't. I really don't, Ollie. I'm not.
You could guess.
I'm not arrogant enough to say because it's the correct one.
But you could guess.
What?
There's a reason. The reason. If I was a betting man, I'd put some chips in that direction.
Of what?
Not saying it's the correct one, because I think if you probably got every single religion, put them all into one thing, and you could pull certain things out of that religion that are fucking amazing, and certain things out of another religion that are absolutely terrible. So I think every single religion has got things wrong, but I think there's something about Jesus and all that they just want rid of. They need it gone.
I can't put my finger on it because the first thing that comes to mind is, and I've always said this, someone had a really fucking good word for it, and I'm fucked if I can remember it. As soon as when I heard it today, I was like, yesterday, I need to remember that. And it was they referred to themselves as being socially Christian,
right?
And as in, like, I'm not a particularly religious person, but I understand that the country I live in was built on Christianity, and the things that have made the country palatable.
Was it Tommy's mate, the bald guy?
Maybe.
What's he called?
I was Tufts.
Tufts, yeah, I like him.
I was listening to. I have listened to his podcast a couple of times.
I think it was him. I've listened to quite a few of his, and he said something very similar along those lines.
That a lot.
He's an atheist. However, he likes the values that he says. I go to church. I sit and listen to the stories.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be a Christian. I don't think he'll be an atheist for long.
No.
But
not when he's best mates with Tommy, because Tommy's Christian now.
It's not. No, it's not just that. I don't think if you stare it's not like if you stare into the abyss stares back. I think
Mm-hmm.
if you stare into the abyss long enough, you realize there's something in it. I think that's the difference. So that's what I've found. I think with a lot. I hate the way I say a lot of. Sometimes I sound like fucking
Me too.
Cilla Black. Sometimes it's awful.
A lot of laughs.
Yeah, it just all rolls into one word. I think there's people out there that do what we do, and especially like again, over the last sort of, I mean, I need to check it out soon. Over the next couple of months, we're gonna hit our first birthday. This podcast is gonna hit its first birthday. Old enough to drink in my house, and it's such a focused thing when you're doing this sort of stuff every day, that like you really think about these subjects, and like it's and I don't think you can do this without coming away with some sort of faith by the end. I used to consider myself an atheist. I think I was stupid. I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm fucking hyper religious, but I'm definitely like fucking, is it agnostic, where you kind of think there's something, but
yeah,
but you're not sure what's going on. But
and I think that's coming from, and it's probably coming from because when you see true evil in the world, there's got to be a yin to that yang.
Define it though. Define true evil, because I find that interesting.
I mean, Keir Starmer for one.
But yeah, okay. So this is what I mean by define true evil. So do you think the rest of the people in his cabinet think he's evil? Because he's not evil to them. It's
probably not.
Yeah. But in the same way, if something awful was to happen,
fucking Jeffrey Epstein, there's fucking evilness for
Bill
you.
Gates doesn't think he's evil though. Like this is what I mean. We think it is, but it does appear. But evil's very subjective.
I see what you're saying. I see where you're going with this, but
Yeah. So
there is true evil in this world.
Okay, let's say there's some sort of social collapse and you've got no food in your kitchen, but next door does have food in your food in his kitchen. You go over the road, fucking James over the road says, "You're not having my food, Ollie." You hit him with a baseball bat and you say, "I'm sorry, James, I'm taking your goddamn pizza." And you go and take your pizza. You go home and feed your family. Your family don't think you've done evil, but you've just left Dave fucking or dying in his fucking hallway.
Does it have pineapple on it?
What?
The pizza?
Maybe. Half and half.
Yeah, I can justify it. Absolutely.
But like but now your neighbor's family is fucking. They think you're pretty evil, but your family's got full bellies.
I mean, I wouldn't tell the family.
No, but this is the thing, though. Evil is subjective, I think.
I'd also take Gareth and put him in my freezer for when it really gets bad.
Fuck, your neighbours have 3 names now.
Speaking of Keir Starmer, though,
yeah,
so
king of the fucking
keep saying his name wrong. Sorry, Keir Starmer. Sorry, Keir.
Do you know what? I don't like Keir Starmer.
No,
because I think it gives him far more character than he deserves. You give people you like nicknames.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Our fucking political system, or politics in general, is so fucking contrived. It wouldn't surprise me if whoever his spin doctor is, or there's been a think tank that said, "Keir, we've got this great idea. We're going to flood the internet with Keir Starmer." It wouldn't in the same way they made Boris Johnson look like a fucking buffoon for years. Like he is a bit of a buffoon, but I don't think he's stupid. But when he was mayor of London, they made him look stupid, so he looked innocent. So it was like, oh, he's just a fucking bumbly. Whoa!
He did a better job at being a mayor of London than the current mayor of London.
I'd argue if he did a better job, he wouldn't have ended up with the current one. He was elected for a reason. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if you look, at how Keir Starmer is with, and it goes back to that classic clip that you brought up once, where somebody said, what did they say, thingy or Davos? What was it?
Oh yeah. Fucking. Parliament, yeah.
Parliament
like,
or Davos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Davos.
Davos because they can get things done.
Yeah, but it's all leading into this Agenda 30.
Yeah.
He's well in with it. He knows it. He knows the plan.
Incredibly. I mean, this is the thing. Though,
arguably, he's probably doing a fucking stellar fucking job at what he's supposed to do. Not for us, but what he's supposed to do.
I think, genuinely, I think he's just a steady hand.
No, but do you think he's probably, for them, whoever's leading this,
right?
Do you think he's probably doing the great job?
Yeah, because we're not in the next phase of this yet. There was a really weird time in British politics. The American listeners won't realise this, but I kind of noticed it.
Lee's educating you.
When the Conservatives, which was our supposedly right-wing party, were on the way out before the last election, they put up little to no resistance. There was also a huge media campaign, which was not organic, which was like anything but a Tory. It was like the Conservative we referred to as Tories. Anything but a Tory, which was just like basically meant like don't vote for Tories, which meant you're voting for Labour. Labour was pretty unelectable, if I'm perfectly honest. That's one thing. Like, but Starmer has not let me down. Like I don't even really think he's exceeded my expectations. He's done exactly what I thought he would do. But I think the Conservatives threw the last election. I don't think and by through, I don't think it's like they got together and they were like, we don't want to do this. I think from Davos, from the World Economic Forum,
they were told.
They were told, like, you're not winning this election. Keir's winning this election. And what happens is Keir comes in. He's universally hated to the point of where it's just boring now. I almost think people, like, the level of fucking nepotism towards that man has bred complacency. Because when you expect the worst from somebody, you can't be surprised when they do the worst. You're just ready to roll your eyes, which means people get away with bad shit.
Well, the names fucking completely escape me, but Crazy Stu told me today that one of the MPs has come out to say when there's meetings, everything's already down for you. The whole agenda's already down for the day. The outcome is there.
I was told by a friend of mine who's involved. I live in a small island, so it's not like I'm fucking. It's not like I'm giving you this like from fucking New York or something.
Is it one of the billionaires that's told you this?
No, it's not one of the billionaires that told me.
What's happened? What have you done? You forgot to charge your computer again, didn't you, you twat?
I did, Ollie. I really did.
Have you stuck it in?
I'm trying to.
Try harder. Come on. You can do it.
It's not charging, Ollie. Oh.
Get it in. Aim. Straighten it. Bend it a bit.
You could always just take over and make this like not a thing.
Well, I am. I'm trying to stop the dead air by, giving you advice on how to stick it in. Jesus. Have you done it? Is it in?
Ah, Ollie.
It's not fucking plugged in, you numpty. For our listeners, Lee's just found a plug. There you go.
There you go. It's charging now. Weird that. Sorry.
Where were you?
I can't remember, but I just heard the oh shit.
No, your friend. You said your friend.
Oh, my friend. Right.
Yeah.
During the COVID, how everywhere seemed to and even now it come to think of it, it was a weird thing, wasn't it? Like that, like everywhere had addresses from their local governments.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody watched the briefing. There was a briefing every night, everywhere, with someone telling you what to be scared of today, or getting you prepared to be scared about it tomorrow. And our head, which is our MHKs, we've got a chief minister, which is like our prime minister. He was a clever guy. Like, we'll ask one. People didn't like him. That's fine. I wasn't particularly keen on him myself, but like he wasn't an idiot, and he was a pretty good public speaker. I know if you spoke to him, he was quite engaging, and like he was a good speaker. He was fucking awful at doing the briefings. And I remember speaking to somebody who was there for the briefings, and they turned around to me and said, yeah, it's almost like when he walks out of that door with the piece of paper in his hand, when he reads it, it's the first time he's had to read it.
Interesting.
Mm.
I've watched I never used to, but I've watched a few of these parliamentary things now, and some of them I'm like, are you just reading off a fucking piece of paper? And yes, sometimes they are genuinely reading out from a piece of paper because they've got their notes. But like you say, sometimes what they're reading does seem like it's like you see the expression on the face.
Yeah. This
is the first time you fucking heard of this.
Yeah, I 100% believe that. I think there's some.
But do you think that's like the same in America? To the extent that it is over here, because that's what's being said now, and I can't remember this prime minister, this MP. If I said his name, you would fuck it. Is it Dominic Cummings?
Yes, he was Boris Johnson's like spin doctor, like one of.
I won't bet my life on it, but I think Crazy Stu said Dominic Cummings is starting to speak out about this. I think it's him.
Yeah, but why? This is the thing. The like Dominic Cummings is one of the most detestable men in British political history.
Yeah,
that's
why I think it's him.
I've watched these interviews as well, and like wasn't that you were speaking to about this the other day, where I was saying about because he was.
Am I right? Is it Dominic Cummings?
Yeah, it is Dominic Cummings. He's done a few interviews now. Where he's like wearing like a raggedy fucking like rugby shirt and like a trucker hat type looking thing on it, and you're dressed like that because you walked into a room and said, "Wait, what do the poor people dress like? I need to look like the poor people so they trust me."
Mm.
And there could be that there could also be an element because the guy is like a slimy rodent.
Yeah, like I said, it's crazy. It's just, mate. Do you think if this is true, he'd be still alive? I said, do you not think that maybe he might be being told to do this for some crazy reason?
He was behind. You could argue that through the COVID like the COVID years administration, whatever you want to call it, I think you could argue that fucking the prime minister was him and Michael Gove. But the horrible fucking individual. He, again, one of the people that was, while the rest of the country was locked up, he was like off having a fucking affair with somebody and stuff like that. Like do what I tell you, not what I do, people.
Mm-hmm.
But
do you think this plan's coming together? So Agenda 2030, that is basically, it's just like you'll have nothing. It's just like you'll have nothing, but you'll be happy.
You'll own nothing, you'll be happy. I think
type thing. Yeah. Do you think this is playing out how they expect
I think
it
so.
to play
Yeah,
out?
yeah. I'm hearing a lot from people saying, "Oh yeah, no, we're winning. We're doing this." I don't think we are.
I keep hearing we're winning. Just watch it. Just watch it all play out. It's like, just be entertained by it. Watch it all play out. Fucking do something.
That's the QAnon stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, just fucking do something, people. Don't fucking watch it.
Do what? That's the thing.
I don't know.
Because this is
speak out.
And what does that do? Like what?
Tell the people. Make the people.
What does what does that do? Like you have to. There has to be actions behind words. There's never actions behind words. Even protests don't have actions behind words. At least, do you know what? I hate the fact that fucking the left wing, like Antifa people, mind you. I mean, we do know they get paid by fucking George Soros.
Look at how good their fucking flags are. How polished and shit.
I was told some of the people that sign up to the websites to do these things in the US get something like $30 a day, $30 an hour. Sorry for it.
$30 an hour.
Yeah, people are like, not everybody. Like, so the idea is that you get, because there's the indoctrination has been so good with this stuff. Now you have people that do it for free, but you want people there that kind of know what the plan is and know what they're supposed to be doing, so they can funnel and like weave the situation. There's people making a lot of money from that sort of stuff. It seems to be what crisis actors do before they need to be crisis actors.
Right.
But I just can't see, right? So you've now got the technocratic elite in the White House with Donald Trump. You know, your Peter Thiels are in there, your Elon Musks are in there. Elon Musk, that seems to be, now, since Trump's got in, a completely different person again. You think of all the cool stuff that Elon Musk was spouting beforehand. All the pro stuff, pro family, anti-AI, anti-this, anti-that. Trump gets in, like the Doge things there. Yeah, he saves America a load of money. But those fucking satellites are still going into space. He's still like his biggest paychecks are from the American government. Like you talk about like what you would need to do, like an Agenda 2030, like dystopian future where the Internet of Things, you know, where everything's tracked and traced and stuff like that. It's fucking a sky map.
Well, it goes back to that bill.
Wireless internet satellites is how you would do it.
Yeah, it goes back to that bill, and with the AI,
the big beautiful bill.
Yeah, that. How long is it? How many years before anybody can do
10
anything?
Years.
10 years. Where's that take us? Where's that take us? Well into the well
2035.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think we've got ourselves into such a rut and a stalemate where everything's divided. Everybody is divided. Even due to like the regardless of what the best course of action is when it comes to Israel Palestine, it's not really this fucking subject for this podcast. But that's even like, if there was one thing that was kind of on the same page, like it was the MAGA guys. Even they're split now because you've got like the fucking MAGA till I die lot. And then you've got, which I think is kind of the sensible fucking realm to be in, going, well, I kind of vote for this guy, but I didn't fucking vote for any of this shit.
And that's where people need to like. God, I was all for Farage, and I still am. I still want reform to get in, Do I think he's the right guy though for that party? I don't know, but it's all we've got. And when he fucks up and does something that I don't agree with, I'll speak about that. And that's how people should be. That is how you should be. You know, if Keir Starmer is something fucking amazing tomorrow, I'd be like, fucking hell, Lee. See what he's done?
The problem is,
I won't trust it.
The problem is we're in a situation where it's okay going, yeah, when he does something wrong, you be sure I'm going to wave my finger at him.
No, but listen, this is leading right into this. So what's going on right now in the UK and the US, yeah? Like, once, and I do think, unfortunately, there is going to be some fucking violence at some point. And when that happens, people are going to fucking, we can fix this, people. Fucking digital ID. Bingo. Done. Fucking CCTV everywhere. Every fucking corner of the streets. Everywhere. It's going to be the safest streets, Lee. Everybody's going to have
Ollie. We already have that.
Yeah, but not to the extent that I'm talking.
I don't think you can. Like, you go to a
I won't
city.
be able to take a shit without someone watching it.
You can't. London's the most surveilled city in the world. We're already. I said this. Was it not you who were speaking to about this yesterday? Or was it when Nick was on the show? People talk about like 1984. 1984 happened in 2012.
Yeah.
Like, we're past that. We're into something new. Like I said, I think we're headed towards something that looks eerily like a Brave New World. That's something I didn't realise. I didn't realise August Huxley died on the same day as JFK. Found out today. Right. There's another person as well. I can't remember who it was. I've just got Orwell in my head. I don't think it can't be Orwell. But either way, there's a really good, if I can find it here.
Have you got another clip for us?
Yeah, there's a good clip of Whitney Webb.
Lovely.
Yeah, there's a good clip of Whitney Webb talking about this. I'd love to get Whitney Webb on the podcast. She's right more than she's wrong, and that's fucking terrifying.
Which is this very scientific dictatorship that the Club of Rome people foretold, and people like Patrick Wood have been warning about for so long. Like the Trilateral Commission, which was Rockefeller created, is one of the groups that has been pushing for this so long. And Keir Starmer.
Joe, the funny thing about Whitney Webb is she doesn't look like she should be anywhere near this sort of stuff, and she looks like she should be asking to see all of the managers.
Starmer is a member of that, right? I mean, these people are still everywhere. These agendas continue through these organizations. And I mean, they're crazy eugenicists that don't give a damn about regular people. So regular people have to give a damn about themselves and stop looking for these people to save them, because they're hurting us into this vision that, you know, H.G. Wells and people like Eric Schmidt and Henry Kissinger have shared, of this idea of there's going to be an upper class and a lower class, and they're going to become different species, and us, the lower class, are going to become basically mentally retarded and eat bugs and become goblins that serve these like super elite that are enhanced genetically and all of this stuff. I mean, it's madness. And we have to keep in mind a lot of the stuff that's being framed as either mental enhancement, like the brain machine interface, or genetic enhancement. All of those things are dual use. You can enhance and you can diminish with all of those technologies. And almost all of those technologies have been heavily developed by groups like DARPA in the Pentagon in the United States and other militaries around the world, specifically for that reason, because not only are they enhancers, they can be used as weapons of war against people, targeting them on the genetic level and all of this. So we are literally, living in a society where maniacs are in the driver's seat, and we need to get out of the car immediately.
She's right.
See, I've had this theory about the COVID vaccine for a long time, you know. I think that was done then because, like, the idea of like the mRNA stuff is there's such huge benefits to getting that right, but it's clearly a dangerous, it's a dangerous science to be dipping into.
Mm-hmm.
If you planned, right? If you planned a future where you were going to take, as she said, this upper class society, which you were going to augment, give extra long fucking lifespans to, cure the diseases for, and stuff like that. How do you get there? You get there by mass testing the shit on people, on like stuff. I think
on the scum. Test it on the scum.
I think that's where it was. I think I genuinely that's why I don't. I think even the idea of like the depopulation thing and the I think although there's been a lot of harm from the vaccine, I think the numbers of like vaccine deaths and stuff like that have actually been inflated because they want people talking about it, because it just creates loads of noise. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just it just means there's noise. It's also it's unprovable noise, because if you make them higher, then you get people like me, which are on board with the idea that the COVID vaccine was nothing but a fucking farce. But I'm also looking around me going, well, everybody else had it. That I know, like I don't know if I know a single person apart from yourself that I interact with like physically in a day-to-day basis. I don't know if I know one other person over here that didn't get vaccinated. I must know other people that didn't have it, but I think most of my close friends and family, even the ones that fell off it quickly, I know a couple of people that just had like one. They had like
me
one,
too.
and
I know
then
loads
one,
of
and
people
then
like that.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Nah, this is fucking ridiculous. I'm not doing this again."
I only know Crazy Stew. And
yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. So but yeah, I'm told these massive statistics of people like healing over, having heart attacks and strokes and stuff like that. But then it doesn't seem to be happening around me. And that's exactly the way I looked at it with COVID. There was loads of statistics telling me people were dying of this respiratory disease and how it was fucking really dangerous. But I didn't really know anyone that got like sick from it. I knew some people that felt poorly during that time, but I didn't know anyone that got like really sick.
It's like, I think with, that like you everybody's heard the term snake oil salesman, and like a lot of people assume they were just selling shit that didn't work. Well, I think they were selling shit that did work. It didn't necessarily cure what they had, but they were testing shit. And they were probably given quite a lot of money to get rid of it. And listen, sell these. You can keep the whatever you make out of it, and we'll pay you. We'll give you all this. We'll give you this cart. You go fucking get rid of these drugs, and we want them in this town here. And then the elites from outside the town would be saying, right, how many did you manage to sell to people? Oh, well, I sold 50 bottles of this shit or whatever. Okay, so we know that 25 of them have the fucking virus in it or whatever, and we've got 50 of them not. Let's see how they react. Let's see what happens to this town.
Did you hear what Catherine Fitz had to say about it?
No.
Let me show you that, because that's again, somebody.
I just pulled that out of my ass, by the way, but I think that's what it was.
I'd fucking love to get Catherine Fitz on this show.
Oh, I have seen her before. Was she on?
She Tucker Carlson, Danny Jones.
Yeah.
This is a clip from Danny Jones. The Danny Jones interview, I actually think is better than the Tucker Carlson interview, but they're both definitely worth a watch. But like, this is Catherine talking about
Danny's knocking out some bangers recently.
Banger after banger, actually.
Yeah,
like he's doing. It's an unpopular thing to say, but apart from the fact I don't find him quite as engaging as like a mid-2000s Joe Rogan, but his show quality, like his show guest choices, are very much like a high point sort of Joe Rogan.
And he does his show on a spaceship, which I appreciate.
I hate his new set. I think it looks rubbish.
Oh, I'd like to sit in that.
No, yeah, but it looks
Captain's log.
I like that. I like a bookshelf, mate. If I could build a studio, I like a bookshelf. So right, let's listen to Catherine.
I worked for several years with a group of doctors and scientists trying to understand what was happening with the injections. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely believe that they were trying to install operating systems in people's bodies.
Operating systems.
Yeah. So
this just got dark.
No, if you listen, there's a great clip from right at the beginning of the pandemic when the chief scientist officer at Moderna says we're installing an operating system in people's bodies. And he, he's describing something that can be used plug and play for future vaccines. But if you look at all the material on the Internet of Bodies, you're talking about putting materials in people's bodies that make them basically easier to interact with telecommunications and digital technology.
You're talking about like the 5G stuff and like how 5G can connect to this stuff.
So
these nanobots. There's a whole. I've done a podcast on this before. It's so bizarre and out there and like hard to grasp, but like
it's not hard to grasp at all because
it just seems like sci-fi.
No, it's not sci-fi at all. It's not, just like they're tagging livestock. I mean, one of the things that really helps you to understand what this looks like, I live in a farming community in the United States, and if you know about if you've ever studied livestock management,
no, never.
A lot of this makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
And they are tagging all the livestock, but this is simply a way of, if you get a lot of these nanoparticles into the human body, you're creating the equivalent of an organic barcode. Okay.
But I don't think there was actually any hard evidence that there was any nanoparticles.
So I strongly recommend you. We just published Patrick Wood at Technocracy News. I was the moderator. We just published the second symposium called Omnivore. And this one is called The Battle for the Brain, and it gets into the Internet of Bodies. And here's what I believe, and I'm not a scientist, so don't ask me to explain this at all. But if you look at all the patents and research and other work done on the Internet of Bodies, it is clear that there are mysterious ingredients in the food. There are mysterious ingredients in the spray. There are mysterious ingredients in the injections. And the question is, what are those for? And I think it's very intentional. I don't think it's an accident. And I think one of the goals is, as the chief scientist officer at Moderna said, is to install an operating system in your body.
That's pretty dark.
Yes, it's very dark.
Lee, as Ray from Ghostbusters once said, get her on the show.
I've no way of getting in touch with her. I've tried to find avenues of which to get a message to her. I just hit dead ends, unfortunately. If anyone out there that thinks they know somebody that would make a good guest for the show and stuff like that, fucking hit us up. Like,
we could ask Ashton because he knows Danny, but I don't know if him and Danny get on anymore.
Yeah, I don't think him and Danny are on speaking terms. But yeah, no, if you know somebody that, like, especially if it's somebody of note, that would be a good guest for the show, and you can hook us up. Like, don't just wait around waiting for me and Ollie to do stuff. You know how long that can take. Just send me a DM. We can at the Daily Compod on most things. The Daily Conspiracy Podcast at gmail.com if you want it to be an email address, and we'll make something happen. But right, I've thought, like, again, I was very much in the Danny Jones like camp with this stuff when it came to, the nanoparticles and stuff like that, and tagging people and stuff, where I just think this seems like
I saw some of them though, like under the telescope, not personally, but I've seen some of these images.
The microscope, Ollie.
Microscope, sorry. But I've seen some of the. I can't see shit, mate.
Yeah, they were fake, but they were fake, though, weren't they?
I saw some of them.
The hexagon ones.
There were some of them that had they look almost like intelligent design to whatever it was in these.
Yeah, no, I saw a lot of those myself. I don't know,
And I think there was a lot of fake ones. So if somebody found this out, if somebody found that there was something there, right? What would you do? It's just like with like, oh shit, an alien crashed in Roswell.
No, you're right.
Get a load of aliens to crash now.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's exactly what you do.
But one thing I did witness, and I did witness this by somebody who worked at the NHS, who refused to get vaccine.
Someone took one vaccine, turned into a motherfucking werewolf in front of you.
No, but her brother, got the vaccine. When he came back home, he did the magnet trick, Lee.
Oh no, the magnet,
and it fucking worked. I saw the video footage of it.
No, I have. I had a friend of mine. She rang me up. The day after her and her mother got vaccinated. She's not a conspiracy theorist. Like she's not. Like no,
she wasn't.
Like not a conspiracy theorist. Just like super fit as well, just into sport, all that sort of stuff. It was fucking ridiculous. She got vaccinated. To be perfectly honest, there was like the idea that fucking COVID could have done anything to her. Jesus Christ, ridiculous. Anyway, she rang me up and she was like, "This fucking magnet business." I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Well," "I got vaccinated yesterday. I can put a magnet on my arm and it stays there." She said, "I'm not sweaty." She said, everyone says it's because you're sweaty. She said, "I'm not sweaty." She said, "I can put talc on my arm. I can dry myself off completely." Her mother as well got vaccinated the same day she did. The magnet thing worked on her as well. Like there was something to that, and that fucking just disappeared. But
it disappeared because then everybody was doing it and going, "No, it's falling off." And then there were people doing it and going, "I'm not even vaccinated," and it went crazy. That went crazy. But again, we need to flood this shit. We need to get rid of it, so we need more of it.
I think, I really do think whatever was going on there was something, and it was something to do with that jab, and it's another thing that's been forgotten. What I do find weird is, so I remember watching something with people saying that since the vaccines, people it's even fucking ridiculous to say, but people were giving off like Bluetooth signals,
which is what she's kind of alluding.
She's alluding to, yeah. And again, it was something I've gone, fuck off. This is stupid. We could
maybe tonight me and my wife can finally connect.
Oh, Ollie, you should have kept that for when you put the show out. Oh, fucking hilarious though. But yeah, well done, Ollie. Well, fucking. Do you know what? If you were in the same room as me, I'll give you a little monkey scrub. Just for the American audience that might not know what a monkey scrub is, just means me like rubbing his head hair just a little bit. Go on, you scamp, that type of thing. Because a monkey scrub could absolutely sound rude if you didn't know what it was.
I mean, I'm down for it.
Yeah, so that's one of those things I was like, this is bullshit. But motherfucker, like, I notice now, like, you get into groups of people now and again, it's even more interesting if you get into groups of people when you're like outdoors and not like if there's like an outdoor event you can do where there's not like loads of inside stuff that can be going on. Check your fucking Bluetooth list, and I guarantee you that you'll
Doris.
find. No. It's weird that I could take, because like, what's the point in Bluetooth? Like, if I fucking turn my Bluetooth on, fucking one fucking plus earpods will turn up, or whatever they're called. Or if you're looking for your Xbox control will turn up. Bluetooth things have fucking names, even if they're stupid names like, you buy like £2 headphones from fucking Alibaba.com, and they'll be like XG9 Pro 5.7 fucking jungle tits. They'll have a name because you need a name to connect to something. But now you get like B8 Fit 6 1, like double dash, 2 little dots over each other, which I always forgot they're called, like 8694512, like really long strings of numbers. And you'll notice if you're in a big group of people, you'll get like a load of these just turn up. Did it the other week. I was there thinking, it dawned on me because I was trying to connect to my headphones. And yeah, there was a couple of things in there. Like I saw fucking somebody's AirPod Pros that were trying to connect to something. There was a Samsung thing that wanted to connect to something, my earbuds. And then all these different, like, I'm talking maybe 20, 25 character numbers. I'm looking around thinking, is this people?
That's nuts.
Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense. Like Bluetooth is a connection protocol. Yeah. It makes no sense. If that's the wrong way I've said it, sorry, nerd. Fucking live with it. But it makes no sense to have long keychains because it almost looks like a password. You know, it makes sense having like a long keychain password for your Wi-Fi, for instance. But if you're connecting Bluetooth stuff, you want to just look at the list and go, oh fucking yeah, AirPods, there they are. So I'm reluctantly more on board with the tagged people than I used to be. And that's like, again, if we vaccinated 90% of the population, so 90% of the people are in, what does that mean? Like that feels like if you had a plan to do and 90% of people went along with it, like that's a good fucking starting point. Do you know what I mean? I wish we had a 90%.
Only like say 50% of the people that got it
actually turned their Bluetooth on.
No, but had these little particles inside the vials. You know, maybe you only.
I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. I would argue that it would be all, and the difference would be is because that's the thing with vaccinations. It was like that. That's why people started freaking out, wasn't it? Because the first thing was breast milk, wasn't it? They found the messenger RNA or like spike protein, whatever it was. They found that in breast milk, I think it was. And that was the first time someone was like, right, well, we've proven this didn't stay in the vaccine site. So no, it wasn't supposed to leave the arm. It's supposed to stay in the vaccine site. That's all I can think of as far as the magnetism stuff goes, is maybe it just stayed in the vaccine site on some people, or it stayed there longer because the magnetism thing wore off, didn't, after a couple of days. So maybe that was just then the juice distributing itself throughout the rest of the person.
I'll tell you something though, mate, though. I know we're coming to the tying up time.
Never.
How do they pull this off with people like fucking Joe Rogan in the world, other podcasts, like little podcasts like us? Well, I mean, we're a fastly growing podcast, but how do they do this? More people are getting into this. More people are listening now. More people are spreading the word. Maybe we're the fucking Resistance, Lee. Doing God's work.
I mean, you're right in a way. I think what was it? Sam Tripoli said that the revolution will be podcasted.
That's great. That I like that.
It is. Yeah. The only difference would be is, does it matter? How effective is it, right? So you get a load of people that listen to something, they go, yeah, that's fucking right. I believe every fucking word of that. Then you
they'll listen to that, but they'll listen to us more.
No, but do you know what they'll then do? So they listen to us, they listen to Rogan, they listen to Sam Tripoli, and they go, yeah, I agree with every fucking word of that. Then immediately leave their house, take their phone with them, and go and buy a Big Mac with fucking Apple Pay.
Well, yeah, the thing is, yes, take Apple Pay, for example. Imagine if they say, listen, no more Apple Pay. No more Apple Pay unless you've got this fucking digital ID. It will not work.
Yeah, well, no, that's exactly what happens. Well, it's not that. The way it will work is, at first there'll be a travel ID. There'll be a
which they tried to do during COVID.
Tried to do kind of, it's like a soft sell, but this is what I think the migrant crisis is for. I think they're going to bring a digital ID in to try and clamp down on the migrant crisis, but they'll wait till things get worse. Things are going to get like a whole lot worse, a whole lot quickly.
Yeah, because people are going to beg for it.
Not beg it, but they're just going to want an answer. They're going to want. We are slap bang at the beginning of the second part of the Hegelian dialectic. We know the problem. The problem is here. We're in the middle of the reaction, and then the solution will be offered. But you're going to get a digital ID. Then what will happen is, for ease, your driver's license will be wrapped up into this. Then for ease, your passport will be wrapped up into this. We're already primed. Like I'm going on holiday, and I have my train tickets, my boat tickets, my plane tickets, and my hotel confirmation in my Google Wallet. We're primed to stack this stuff for fucking ease of use.
Here's the question. Do you go along with it?
We're all doing it.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you have, like, if you've got, like, look, you've got to remember is these things will not come in. You're not gonna wake up all of a sudden and there's gonna be like you're gonna need to download fucking Keir Starmer's Satan app if you want to do anything. It's gonna be so much slower. It's like even banks,
baby steps.
But it's all already there. That's the thing. We use our phones for nearly everything. It's already almost our IDs. It's already a digital ID system that we use every day. Your profile, your fucking X profile is a digital ID, really. And people turn around and say, "Yeah, I'm fucking anonymous. I've got a fuck you. You're not anonymous if they don't need you to be anonymous. Do you know what I mean? The only person you're anonymous to is your peers. You're not anonymous to the fucking overlords. But they'll wrap in, like I was just trying to say there. You get your digital ID, they'll wrap your driving license in, they'll wrap your passport into it. You've already got your banking apps on your phone anyway. You've got your bank app, so you've probably got a large bank account like a Barclays or a NatWest or a HSBC or something like that on your phone anyway. So you use that. Most people also now have a secondary like internet bank, like a Revolut or a Starling or something like that, or Cash App, that type of thing in the US. I know the US you work slightly different to how we work over here. It doesn't take, because you don't just have it so it's all connected at first. You will it'll then be like you'll have app integration within the digital ID, so it won't be a case of like you can't do this now. It'll be just like, oh, if you want to, if you want to, like no one's been. We're all about data security. We don't keep your data, but if you would like to include your Revolut app in with your digital ID form, so that when you pay like your car insurance or your or you need to go on holiday, you need a new passport, you can just pay for it straight through the app, rather than...
How convenient. Thank you so much.
Just for convenience.
We'll do that. Yeah, thank you.
Then the next thing is your banking's through it then as well.
Yeah.
And that's fine then, because realistically, as soon as everybody's using this as a convenience, this has took like there's video from like the early 90s of Nancy Pelosi like talking about
but she was fine.
No, I think she was about 106 back then. There's video of her talking about Agenda 21 like back then.
Right.
This is like Agenda 2030 is a multi-generational plan. There has been people that would have been sat in Congress at the time when Nancy Pelosi was talking about Agenda 21, knowing they wouldn't make 2021.
Did you watch the news article I sent you?
The Coast guy.
Yeah. Did
yeah,
you
it was
see?
great.
I'm
I'm going to watch that film on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm thinking of watching it as well. But did you see?
It's called The Agenda, actually. By anyone who wants to watch it, it's by Oracle Films, and it's called The Agenda, and it's a documentary about the Agenda 2030.
When he was talking about the carbon footprint point system,
yeah,
that's fucking wild. That, like, how do you run your fucking house, and you get a fucking point system, almost like a credit system?
Wait till it's your diet, mate. Wait till it's your diet. So like meat, just like like normal lean proteins. Well, that's
you've eaten too much of that this week.
Your carbon footprint doesn't allow you to drive and eat beef.
You farted far too many times this week. Hold that.
I don't see how we get out. And do you know what the worst part of it is? The worst part is, what if it's not horrible?
Do you mean when they bring it all in?
What if
people are like, oh, this is fucking great. Life's look, crime's going down.
Look at lockdowns. Lockdowns, in my eyes, were the beta test for the low carbon state. Keep people in their homes. Well, we pay them the universal basic income. What do you do? Oh, we drink.
Turn them all into fucking alcoholics.
Drink a little bit more. Play video games. We order stuff off Amazon. We like getting Post. Post's great.
The fucking wank loads.
Telling you, mate. The Meta Quest.
Wonder how many porn addictions happened over lockdown.
I think addiction in general, mate. I think just we are not good at. We're not. People aren't good at taking stress on the chin.
No.
Like we will. Like even people that are good, like that have got quite a high tolerance for stress, will still. The reason they have usually the reason they have a high tolerance for stress is because they've just found they're more comfortable with their coping mechanisms of it. So it might just be the case that they can take a lot of stress, and it's just having maybe that fifth beer a night. That kind of that's where they can go. Right, okay, I can get back to. I can just be normal again. So yeah, I think just addiction in general went fucking wild. But you see, like MetaQuest, for Facebook, for the unclean and unwashed out there, they've just postponed their next VR headset, and this is why I know we're fucked, because I know this shit's going. I love VR. It's so much fun. So much fun.
I can see us eventually doing the show in fucking VR. I can touch your virtual face.
It is my birthday in a couple of weeks' time.
I'm not buying you. I ain't got that sort of money, Lee. People, we need more patrons. We need more 5-star reviews for that.
No, mate, I'm fucking 43. Nobody cares about me anymore. That's the age. Like I 40 is the age where everyone goes, oh, okay, you're still alive, but we don't care. So we'll check in with you again when you're 60. Yeah. So now if Lee wants a birthday present for the last 2 years, Like Lee needs to buy a birthday present, so I'm going to buy myself a Meta Quest 3 for my birthday. And I shouldn't. It's fucking Facebook. But you know what? I'm going to play some cool fucking games on it where I feel like I'm in it. I'm going to be able to watch fucking... do you know what I do? I'm so weird for it. There's nothing better than watching fucking ASMR in VR.
Watching someone whisper into a microphone in VR.
I'm big on fucking cork tapping, like watching people like knock their fingers on cork.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, it's I find VR, not VR, ASMR unbelievably relaxing. Maybe that's my coping mechanism for the crazy shit we do every night. Maybe that's it. I've never thought of this. Maybe that's what I use to like clean my brain out, because I don't think about anything when that's
maybe
happening.
I should try it. I'll listen to some cork.
Yeah,
Why
okay,
not?
maybe that's what's fucking keeping me semi-sane. A couple of the ASMR girls definitely keep me semi-something.
And if you want to be semi-something, then consider becoming a Patreon, because tomorrow night at 10 o'clock UK time, 5 p.m. Eastern, we will be live for the patrons.
More professional people would have plugged this at the beginning of the 2-hour show.
Yeah, fucking you're knobhead.
We're so bad at this.
I blame you.
Do you know what the funny thing is, Ollie?
I blame the Liver King.
All it would take is for us to shorten our intro a little tiny bit and then pre-record please do this, 10 seconds.
I love that intro, but I think we probably do need to like half it.
Every time, do you know, every time we talk about doing it, like no word of a lie, even if we don't talk about it on the show, there's comments usually going, "Oh, I love your intro, it's an absolute banger, it doesn't get old." And then I read those and like, "Oh, maybe we should leave it." And then I think to myself when I'm doing it in the morning, I think it's 1 minute 30.
Yeah,
that's
guys. If you've made it this far, in the comments section, let us know if you think we should shorten the intro.
Yeah, do you get pissed off? This is what I want to know, because like
no, because
fucking yes, yeah.
Adverts keeps the
I
lights
was
on
going to
people.
say I was going to say something, but I'm not. No. But just let me put this. Let me put this out into the universe. This show is currently the best and biggest it's ever been. We are getting more listeners. We get more interaction. The numbers grow weekly. If you don't understand the work that takes to put in, I would just like you to acknowledge it. And maybe next time you're going to write something that's just completely fucking nonsense, just think, do I need to write this? Or should I direct this somewhere else? Maybe to the person you actually wanted to send it to. That feels like a good move to me. Apart from that, if you're going to put other messages up there, I don't mind. Even criticism. Tell me if they don't like the show. Fuck me. I like to know that. I want feedback. But Christ, I'm dealing with some fucking.
I wish they could just send us pictures. Not rude ones, just like a picture, like a thumb up or.
Yeah, that comment section would be pretty big, but
picture of a pet chicken or something.
Yeah, no, there's been some good messages this week though. We'll have to get back to reading some of them. Maybe we can go through some of them on the Patreon actually, because we haven't done that for fucking ages. Or maybe we can do it for Sunday. We might do like a little some like catch up on the messages. We haven't done it for ages, and it is one of the highlights. One of the highlights of this show is how interactive the audience is with us, and how you guys reach out to us. Yeah. But anyway, that is the end of today's show. The end of the week's podcast. The end of the Omnibus edition. If you've made it all the way through the Omnibus edition, thank you very much. Take us out, Ollie.
Well, I have been through the show. I've left my Bluetooth turned on, okay, to see if I can connect with my wife tonight. Unfortunately, she's not turned on tonight, so.
Oh, that was really... See if you hadn't done it earlier.
I just said she's not turned on. Turned on, you know?
Yeah, but you started with the joke you've already said.
Oh, I'm still learning, Lee. Still learning.
We'll get there.
Thank you.
Your wife won't.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. And they are not what they claim to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.